It was a sweltering summer afternoon in a small suburban town when Jacob Reed, the CEO of a modest diner chain, decided to step out of his high-rise office and into one of his very own establishments. Over the years, Jacob had built these diners with a dream in mind, a place where every customer felt like family and every employee was treated with genuine care. But lately, the cheerful buzz of these diners had been clouded by whispers of long wait times, curt service, and a troubling spike in staff turnover. Determined to uncover the truth, Jacob hatched a plan. One crisp morning, he transformed himself. He let his perfectly groomed hair fall into a scruffy, unkempt style, trimmed away the refined look of a CEO, and swapped his tailored suits for a worn-out hoodie, jeans, and a pair of thick, round glasses. No one would recognize the man behind the disguise. Today, Jacob was just another customer. Stepping into the diner, he found it humming with the typical afternoon chaos, chatter from regulars, the clink of cutlery, and the sizzle of food in the kitchen. Yet, even as he admired the nostalgic charm of the place, something tugged at his heart. There, weaving between tables with practiced efficiency, was Megan, a young waitress whose tired eyes and forced smile betrayed the exhaustion she felt. She was the engine of this diner, managing orders, refilling coffee cups, and juggling plates with a grace that seemed almost heroic. As Jacob settled into a booth by the window, he ordered his meal and sipped on his coffee, all the while keenly observing the happenings around him. Amid the pleasant chaos, his attention was suddenly drawn to a different sound, a muffled, heart-wrenching sob coming from the kitchen. His curiosity and concern piqued. Leaning in, he heard a harsh, grating voice bellowing orders, "Megan, you need to pick up the pace," followed by the soft, desperate reply, "I'm trying my best." Then came another, more chilling cry, a sound so raw and painful that it echoed in Jacob's soul. Unable to ignore it, Jacob slipped out of his booth and made his way toward the kitchen. There, the scene was even grimmer than he had imagined. Behind a closed door, he caught sight of Megan, tears streaming down her face as she tried to wipe them away with the back of her sleeve. Towering over her was Rick, the manager, whose presence was as intimidating as it was overbearing. Rick's face was twisted with anger as he barked orders, leaving no room for compassion. The air in the cramped kitchen felt heavy with stress and despair. "Is everything all right in here?" Jacob asked in a calm but firm tone. Rick turned, startled by the intrusion. "It's nothing," he snapped dismissively, trying to regain control. But the damage was done. Megan's quivering form and the silent resignation in her eyes told Jacob more than Rick's words ever could. In that charged moment, Jacob felt a rush of responsibility. This wasn't just about a diner's efficiency. It was about a broken system where the people who made it all run were being crushed under the weight of unrealistic expectations. "Megan, you deserve a break," he declared, his voice resonating with authority. "There's always time to treat people with respect." Before Rick could muster a rebuttal, another voice emerged, a quiet, determined one. Connor, a cook who had been working silently in the background, spoke up. "Megan hasn't had a break all day. She's been working nonstop, and it's not right." The words hung in the air, a small spark of defiance against the oppressive atmosphere. That spark ignited something in Jacob. He realized that this wasn't an isolated incident. It was a symptom of a larger, systemic issue. Determined to get to the heart of the problem, Jacob asked Rick to join him in a private office, leaving the rest of the staff to exchange uneasy glances. Inside that small, dim room, Jacob's tone was both stern and sorrowful. "How long have you been managing here?" he asked. Rick hesitated and finally mumbled, 2 years. Jacob's eyes bore into his. "In these 2 years, you've created an environment where fear and exhaustion are the norm, not respect and teamwork. That isn't the way we do things. We built this chain on the belief that people matter." Rick tried to argue, but Jacob cut him off decisively. "Your time here is over. I'm sorry, but I can't let you continue leading in such a destructive manner." The words were final, and the look on Rick's face said it all, shock, shame, and resignation. Returning to the dining area, Jacob could feel the tension lift ever so slightly. He addressed the staff with heartfelt sincerity. I want you all to know that I'm here to make things right. Each and every one of you deserves to feel valued, and from now on, that's exactly what you'll get." His words resonated with a promise of change. Over the next few days, Jacob set about transforming the diner. He hired a new manager with a reputation for compassion, revamped the schedules to ensure that no one would be overworked, and took time to speak with every employee. Connor's quiet act of bravery didn't go unnoticed. He was promoted to assistant manager, a decision that filled the team with cautious optimism. Slowly but surely, the diner began to change. The clamor of discontent was replaced with genuine smiles, and the once tense air of the kitchen was lightened by a newfound camaraderie. Megan, whose spirit had been nearly broken, started to laugh again, a sound as fresh as a spring breeze. Customers began to notice the difference too. Service was quicker, the atmosphere warmer, and every interaction carried a sense of genuine care. Jacob's undercover visit had done more than reveal the problems. It had sparked a complete transformation. He realized that leadership wasn't about numbers on a balance sheet. It was about the human connections that made the business thrive. By listening to the unheard cries of one tired waitress and the silent courage of a dedicated cook, Jacob had reclaimed the soul of his diners. And so, the story of that fateful day became a turning point, a day when one CEO listened not just with his ears, but with his heart. It was a reminder that even in the busiest, most chaotic moments, the well-being of people should never be sacrificed. As the diner blossomed into a haven of respect, support, and genuine hospitality, Jacob Reed's legacy as a leader was forever redefined. That, my friends, is the story of how an undercover CEO transformed not just a diner, but an entire team spirit by simply taking the time to listen. It's a story about courage, compassion, and the undeniable power of treating people the way they deserve to be treated. And remember, sometimes the most profound changes start with a single, brave act of kindness.